Hi, my name is Taco. I am the co-founder and CEO of Open Social. Welcome to the Roadmap 2026 video, where we will tell you all about the exciting features and functionalities that we will build at Open Social this year. You can easily skip to specific sections of your interest below here, but of course we will hope that you will stay with us for the entire tour. And as you are watching this video, we would love to hear your comments of the specific features that you like of Open Social and maybe some things that you're still missing in Open Social or some things that you would like to see improved. Leave your comments here or reach out to us in Community Talks, our client community site. But before we take a deep dive on the roadmap, I want to zoom out a little bit. Because as global tensions are rising, we are realizing that we have been depending on US technology for the last 20 years or so. And what we're seeing now with disruption in the relationship, that we are at the risk of depending too much on foreign technology. And what we want to do is make sure that you feel comfortable with your technology. So a big part of this presentation is how we will address what we call digital sovereignty. So we're seeing three big themes in 2026. First of all, to counter what we're seeing as fragmentation in the world, we need to stick together. There are two big problems for one organization or for one country to solve alone. We're talking about climate change, we're talking about war, we're talking about long-term issues that we will have to address and that you will have to address with your organizations, whether it's a non-profit, whether it's a government, whether it's a trade association. We need to make sure we can do this cross-country and cross-organizational collaboration and keep making a larger effort doing so. But the second point is that we have to make sure that this is done in a secure way. Because security means for us that you remain in control over your data, over your code, over who has access to what information on your platform. And it's becoming more crucial than ever that we can document this, that we're fully compliant, we can audit this, and Open Social is making huge steps towards that. And last but not least, with budgets under pressure, we will have to get used to the situation where we need to do more with less. That means automate things, come up with smart solutions around moderations, workflows, engagement automation, and a lot of the tools that we've developed at Open Social will help you exactly to do that. And it's not just words. We are not sovereign washing as some companies are doing. We don't just talk the talk, we are walking the walk. We already made sure that a lot of our portfolio is open source, that has open standards, that is European digital sovereign, or that is US sovereign. You can always choose in Open Social because we want to give you the freedom to choose the solution that is best for your organization, wherever that is in the world. Last, I would like to take this opportunity to show what we've done in 2025 because it was a huge year for Open Social. We started the year off straight away relaunching as a community collaboration platform. So we're not just focusing on community engagement, but we're also looking at productivity and how people can collaborate together. Something that we've done, for example, is launch the Document Collaboration Suite. That is a full working Office suite, just as you know from Microsoft or Google, but it all stays within your community collaboration platform of Open Social. No data leaves the platform, and you still have all the functionalities and features that you are used to. The other thing that we're very excited to talk about is the integration between the community management system and other products that we will talk a lot more about today. For example, Engagement Studio. There's a functionality we call segments, where you can segment groups in your community and engage with them automatically. So huge steps have been taken there, and I would like to show you a lot more of that today. All in all, we've launched not one, not two, not three, but 4 new products at Open Social. So the first one is Gaia AI. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe not yet. Moritz will talk to you later about this exciting development where we can do a lot more with moderation, with content generation, with summarization of content. And again, this is all sovereign. You can choose your AI model, whether it's Mistral or it's OpenAI or another model. We always let you work with the model that you want. The second product is Engagement Studio, where you can set up automatic campaigns and automatically engage with your community. So again, doing more with less. Then there's Connection Hub. We're now developing our GraphQL API with a lot more endpoints to make sure that your community collaboration platforms integrate with your entire ecostack. And last but not least, Bram is working really hard, our CTO, on Lumina Insights to make sure that over the entire product stack, you have the right insights into KPIs, dashboarding, but also for compliance reason into what's happening exactly in your community collaboration platform. So as a quick recap, we now have 6 products the four that I just mentioned, and the two products that we always had at OpenSocial: community management system, the software, and the cloud platform, the hardware, the deployment, and the orchestration of where we deliver and host everything. So these 6 platforms together make up your community collaboration platform. And today we'll talk about them one by one. So we'd like to give you this overview to make sure you keep track of everything that we're doing and all the exciting developments that we have in store for you this year. And of course, we've launched a lot of new platforms. I'm just going to show you 3 platforms that we are very proud of that we launched last year. The first one is IATA Connect. We already launched it, but now we've not expanded it with not just the airlines, but also with ground handling safety. So we're doing really the entire safety stack for aviation, whether it's in the air or on the ground. And it was a massive effort of our team to work with IATA to deploy it, to get it live, but we're very happy now everything is up and running, and we're expanding the platform further in 2026. The other platform is the We Build portal, and this is a very interesting project. It is 200 organizations, governments, commercial organizations that are working together for the European Commission. They are building the wallet ecosystem for businesses and payments. So companies can do much easier business within the European Union and work towards a single digital market. And this is great for us in Europe. And everything that's happening in this project, the planning, the delivering, is happening in the portal that we deliver together with the WeBuild consortium. And the last platform that we're very excited about is Connect for Impact for the World Bank. It's specifically around development, expertise on development, and we're very happy that the World Bank joined the OpenSocial family. And also this year we're starting off really well, and we're very proud that the European Commission has selected OpenSocial to build a new center for democratic resilience platform, part of the Democracy Shield in Europe. And it's a very cool project where a lot of knowledge and information will be shared between member states, ministries, and governments. And we're looking very forward to launch the platform in January already this year. So we're off to a running start with OpenSocial. A lot of things are happening, especially in the digital sovereignty space. Please also follow us on LinkedIn and on our website. We'll be posting a lot about updates and our vision. So not just the roadmap today, but also ongoing engagement is very important for us with you, our community. So it's time for us to get to work. And I would also like to call the next presenter. That's my co-founder and CTO, Bram ten Hove. Welcome, Bram.
All right, thank you very much, Taco, for the introduction. And today I'll be talking about our digital sovereign cloud platform. As you can see here, we have 6 products in our community collaboration platform, and the cloud platform is the foundation to many of these. So that's why we're starting with that today. The cloud platform is the foundation that determines the control, manages the risk, and the long-term flexibility of what we offer to you as OpenSocial to you as customers. As Taco shared, the world is changing, and that means we need to adapt. Technology choices are more and more shaped by geopolitics, legal reach, and just in general laws that we need to comply with. That means that the foundation of how we deliver our solution to our clients needs to adapt with that. So what we see in the market is often a choice of which hosting provider do you choose, and that is a false assumption. We choose, on the other hand, on one hand you have the hyperscaler platforms, which provide you with a lot of power, with a lot of convenience, but they come with legal exposure and risk there. On the other hand, you have what they market as sovereign clouds. They come with more control, but often come with less performance, less scale, and less tools to work with. And they both start from the false assumption that it's about where you host your data, and that is a false assumption. Sovereignty is actually an architectural property. It emerges from how a system, how a platform, how a product is designed. It's about which dependencies you take, how you maintain your data, how you maintain your platform and product. That is how sovereignty is actually built. And it's about long-term maintainability, long-term control, and in the end, it's about the neutrality and autonomy you choose in that sense. So at OpenSocial, what do we mean with digital sovereignty? There's a lot of sovereign washing going on right now. So what we talk about is very concretely 3 things. So first of all, it's jurisdiction. Which legal frameworks govern your data and govern your framework and govern your platform? What is the reach of a state and what is the extraterritorial reach of them overriding that? Secondly, it's about deployment control. Where do you host your data, and do you have the ability to move that data somewhere else and your platform to somewhere else without having to fully rewrite or redesign that system? And third, it's about operational control. What are the tasks, what are the boundaries that you have on a day-to-day operation in that? So what do we have today at OpenSocial to support digital sovereignty for you? So first of all, freedom of choice. It's about where we host your data in your platform. You have the ability to choose here. We are not tied to a single cloud or a single vendor in that sense. You have the ability to deploy over multiple regions, over multiple providers, and we'll show you that in a second. Secondly, it's about security and privacy by design. OpenSocial applied these principles from the very start. So we have strong web application firewall, DDoS protection, hardened defaults, clear tenant isolation, and next to that we have privacy by design with clear controls embedded in the platform to support that data protection for you. Further, it's about performance at scale, making sure that even though you have a large community, very visible, performance holds just like you would expect it to. And fourth, finally, it's about compliance. So OpenSocial is ISO 27001 compliant, which means that we have security controls embedded deep into the organizations in processes, secure development practices, and many more of these things. It's about also managing your our external dependencies, which means it's also your external dependencies. And very importantly, open source by design. So OpenSocial, we rely heavily on open source technology, which is a choice by itself, but we are also open source by design. So a lot of our code, our product is open source, and we're deeply embedded in the communities and in the different frameworks around that. So we rely on this technology and we contribute back to it. And that's very important because it supports sovereignty in the real world. So we are able to inspect dependencies, we're able to understand that, and it makes it transparent, and vice versa. We also make our code transparent and inspectable. And that, in the end, contributes to real autonomy and long-term maintainability. Others can review our code and can also contribute to that. And you do not have to rely solely on us to contribute new features, new designs, new products to your platform. So how do we look at deployment? I just mentioned it before. We are looking at this from two sides. So first of all, we have a stable core. We have a platform that is stable. We have a security model, operational boundaries inside of it. And we have an orchestration layer that sits under that. And that orchestration layer can deploy to, well, public clouds, like you know, like OVH Cloud in Europe, but also across the world, AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure. Next to that, we also have the ability to deploy to private or regulated environments, which often are bring your own clouds or on-premise situations. And it's the same platform, it's the same operational boundary, same security baked in, but it is in a different environment. And that is, again, like principle that we designed from the start to make sure that we are not dependent on a single cloud vendor. So what is then our roadmap for the cloud platform? It's really about adapting to this fragmenting world. It's about adding more sovereign hosting options, so stronger and better alternatives to what we already have today. We're also reviewing our architecture, our infrastructure, to make sure that we support you with the best options in place. We are reviewing that. We are also making sure that we have clear documentation, clear controls, and contractual obligations that we have signed with our clients. We have our data protection agreements that we're updating, and we'll make sure that we have these architectural properties, these different things that we're doing. We have that in documentation and enforceable by transparency. Next to that, on-premise, that is something that you just saw, like we are already able to do that, but we want to give the team better tooling to make sure that we can support you better in that sense. And finally, it's about, of course, higher scalability ceilings, making sure that even with high load, public-facing communities are able to perform at scale. So on-premise as first class, like we just talked about that, it's about customer infrastructure, customer networks, and customer-controlled operational boundaries and collaboration with us. We have a governance model around that. It's something that we want to adopt more as first-class deployment model. We are already doing this. We are doing this with the European Commission in a fully sovereign setup where we are supporting them with ESP SaaS, which is a very interesting solution to look at. We are going to just be improving on that, what we're already doing, and supporting you with better tools here. Finally, OpenSocial. We have been looking at digital sovereignty for a long time, even before, I guess it's called this. We have these principles designed from the very start, embedded into the product, into the platform. And we're built for a changing world. We're adapting to that and we'll continue to improve. And with that, I would like to introduce you to Stefano, who's our product manager of the community management system, who will share you more about our vision and the roadmap for 2026.
Thank you very much, Bram, and welcome everyone to the 2026 roadmap. Today, I'm going to introduce you to our plans for the community collaboration platforms and our vision for this amazing product. Let's focus first of all about our vision for the 2026 roadmap. We want to focus on cohesion between features and improvement on what you already have and what you already enjoy in the product. We want to improve on the look and feel, how things work, how things behave with each other, and all in all, try to give you as much value for what you already have. We have structured our 2026 roadmap in a now, next, and later framework. This is not a timeline. This is more of a prioritization way of working. So we are going to focus first on the now, that are items, features that we are currently working on. Then I will move to next, that is something that we are shaping, that is very concrete, but still can have some different prioritization, and conclude with later, where we will show something about our vision for the long term. Let me start with user purge. So one of the challenges in a community is always managing the users and making sure that the user base is always active. And over time, especially in large platforms, this is a problem. So you see a lot of inactive users that are not participating, a lot of blocked users that pollutes KPIs, make numbers in the groups not real. And community managers need to constantly clean it up, investigate, and spend a lot of time on tasks that are not really necessary. We are trying then to solve this problem by automatizing this cleanup. User purge allows you to set up some simple rules to automatize this cleanup. So once everything is in place, you don't have to worry about manual actions anymore, but you will be sure that your user base will always be up to date, active users will be rewarded, and inactive users will just be removed over time. Next is the activity stream. Well, I think everyone is familiar with the activity stream. It's used in dashboard pages across every community that we have. It's a very popular way to share information with your users, but has one main problem. It always shows the same content. So it doesn't matter on which page you place this block, always shows the same information to the user. Now we want to change this. We think that by adding filters by content tag in this case, community manager can really utilize the activity stream to provide context to the activities and provide users with content that is more relevant for their interest. So for example, you can place an activity stream on a page that talks about health and see all relevant topics about this topic, on a page about nature, and only focus on that specific topic. So we think that with this improvement, community managers can create a better flow for the users and improve the community. One feature that is coming up really soon is a general improvement on how we allow users to find content across the platform. So it's always a challenge, especially in a large community, to navigate through content. It's good that there is a lot, but sometimes it's hard to find what you're looking for. That is relevant for groups, for organizations, members within these entities. And now we are trying to solve this problem with introducing a new widget that will be placed on most of the overviews, on most of the pages, and will help users to find exactly what they need, exactly when they need. So far, I talked about improvements in the core product. So everyone that is using currently the community management system will benefit from them. Now I want to talk about an add-on. So something that you can purchase on top of the product. And if you are interested, please contact us for a demo. What I want to talk to you about is Big Blue Button. Taking a step back, last year, we introduced online concept inside events. So now it's possible already to add a link to external meetings to your events and utilize enrollments and permissions to give access to these links. Step forward, Big Blue Button is a a dedicated integration that we are working on. It's GDPR compliant and is hosted in Europe. We want to use it to enhance how community interact with each other and how they collaborate with each other in a trustworthy way. So stay tuned, this one will come soon to you. Moving to next, these are features that are very well shaped already. We are working on finalizing the design, we are working on finalizing concepts, but a timeline is not yet set in stone. Priorities could shift, so we are always going to keep your feedbacks in consideration. The first topic I want to talk to you about is a very delicate one, and is communicating all communities. It's about spam and the problems that spam creates to your community. So a goal for a community is to grow, and in order to grow, we know that having an easy threshold, being easily able to join a community and participate in the community is the key. Because if something becomes too complicated, then users tend to leave or become inactive. This is great, but the more the community is open and free, the more chances there are for spam and abuse. So community managers are always there, puzzled between openness and security. We want to change this. What do we already do in Open Social to help with this? Well, we do quite a lot. First of all, we prevent spikes. So when your platform is under attack, we mitigate this and make sure that the platform will still be accessible even if it's under pressure. We protect your signups. So we make sure that we check for known spammers and no spamming patterns to prevent the creation of the account. So we try to eliminate the problem before it even starts. When this is not enough and the user is created, well, then we have other measures in place. We have a verified user state. So a user can be created but not being fully active, so not verified. Only verified user can create content, can participate, create posts and comments. So up until that state, they are not able to create spam on your community, and that's really important. Last but not least, we have a spam word protection. So on your community, you can set this up very easily. You can create a list of known words or short sentences that will be flagged when a user is creating a content, and the content will be blocked. So the content will not be published and will never reach the end user. Also, with this functionality, spam users can also be blocked automatically. When all these features are enabled, they really do a lot already to prevent spam, but it's not enough. What's next? Well, we already identified some places on these functionalities that can be improved. One of the main problems is spam burst. So let's imagine you have already a spam user on your platform or multiple spam users, and suddenly they start spamming. But one of the problems is that we need to act immediately to stop him and to block it. But what if this happens during the weekend or at night? It's always hard to have some real person there to prevent this. So preventing spam burst and preventing users to create a lot of content in a short amount of time is one of the improvements that we are going to work on. Second is to help you with the creation of these spam words that I was talking before. So we'll ship the product already with a large list of words and short sentences in multiple languages that we know can be malicious for your platform. And you're also able to change it, extend it, and use it in the way you want. And then we are going to fight bots with our Gaia AI. That's something Moritz will talk more about in his presentation, but this one will be a game changer because we can really adapt and anticipate what a spammer will do. So we will be able to score the relevancy of content that the user is creating and understand if it's relevant for the context of the discussion where it's posted or in the group. And if not, well, we can decide to keep it under review or even remove it entirely automatically without the necessity of a community manager. What I just presented are great improvements and will make your community more safe, but we have a bigger vision for the years to come. We call it Trust and Integrity Shield Initiative, and we will announce more on this very, very soon. Moving on, I want to talk a bit about the resource library. I think most of you watching are already familiar with the resource library. It's a curated overview of content that content managers can handpick and make it more prominent for the users. Could be all about documentation, could be about important articles, could be about great groups, you choose. In 2026, we want to connect this resource library with more functionalities across the platform. One of them will be the document collaboration suite, where we will allow all type of files to be available and visible and sortable inside the resource library. And the second one will be organization. So it will be easy for users to find content and groups connected to organizations within the resource library. Moving on, organization profile is an add-on that is very popular for small and large communities. And we notice that some of our customers are in need for more. So we want to introduce some extra functionalities that have been requested a lot, and we think they really complement this functionality in the best possible way. So we want to make organization searchable, so it's easy to find what you're looking for using the search functionalities in the platform. We want to create a section in the user profile where users can find their own organization easily. And we want to tie the connection between organizations and groups and organizations and content as much as possible. So as you know, an organization can already be attached to other entities, but this connection is not very visible on the platform. It's not very visible on pages, on teasers, and in search. We want to change this, and we want to make a flow that works much better for the communities and for the product in general. Let me talk now about Document Collaboration Suite. We introduced it last year, and now users are able to not only share files within groups, but also collaborate in real time directly on the platform. That was huge for us, and now we want to extend on it because we see that there are some usability problems, especially when users want to share multiple files or do operations on multiple files. So we want to save them some time and make this product more and more powerful and more used. So we will introduce multiple upload of files. So with one click, you can upload many resources from your desktop to your platform. We want to introduce the possibility to move files and folders from one place to another, just with the drag and drop and with the click. We want to allow users to download entire folders and not just one file at a time, and want to allow them to delete multiple folders and files at once without going through an extensive list. Let me introduce now Document Collaboration Suite. So last year we worked on this extensively, and now users are able not only to share files in the platform inside groups, but also to collaborate in real time. This has been a huge improvement for our community software, and now we want to make it even better. Introducing bulk operation should simplify the life of any user trying to share information on the platform by allowing them with one click to upload multiple files, for example, or to move files from one folder to another, folders into subfolders, etc. Downloading entire folders instead of one file at a time should save a lot of time. And in general, the idea for this is to make it more usable, move faster, and let the user focus more on sharing and collaborating instead of working with, struggling with the operational part. Large files upload is a concept that came up during the work on Document Collaboration Suite and online events. So we noticed that there is a technical limitation that we have in place that doesn't allow users to share everything they want. So if they want to share a video recording, for example, of an event that just happened, or a large presentation with a lot of images, well, at the moment, there are technical limitations on the size of the file that can be shared. We want to work on this and completely rebuild what we have in place. So change the way files are uploaded and the way files are stored. So there won't be this limitation anymore, and collaboration can really be improved. This will also be used within courses. So in courses, we allow the import of SCORM files. But SCORM files normally are really, really large because, of course, you have a lot of graphic, a lot of images, design, and right now this is a limit for this functionality. We will remove the limit entirely. I want to conclude this part with something that is mostly invisible for the final user, but that is the most important for our product and for the maintainability. This year, we are going to upgrade to Drupal 11. The new upgrade will come with performance improvements, security improvement, and assure the maintainability of the products for the year to come. And now later are items that we are working on. We have a vision for them. In some cases, they are already being worked on for some parts, but they will take a long time to deliver the value that we imagine. Segments is something that we are really proud of. It will be used to group users based on different conditions, and after this grouping is in place, we can target different users to improve engagement, communication. Moritz will talk more about this in his presentation about Engagement Studio, and I will explain to you how Engagement Studio will benefit from segment during this year. And now Galaxia. Galaxia is our new theme. As for anything I presented so far, this year is all about improving what we have and making a story and the product more consistent. Galaxia is intended to do exactly that. Victoria will explain much more in her presentation, so I don't want to spoil the surprise, but stay tuned. In conclusion, I want to repeat that our focus this year will be about improving the community management system and the way features work together, improving the look and feel of the product and the usability. So I'm really excited to deliver this to you through the year. And now I give the word to Victoria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stefano. Today I'm going to talk about the look and feel of community management system, how it's going to evolve over time, how we will enable growth of the platform, and what does it mean for the future steady improvements of the community management system. We've already improved things that matter most. The next step is to make sure those improvements come together. Via shared patterns and shared behavior, we can set up a strong foundation for things to grow in the future. Our goal is to make everyday interaction as simple as possible, so we can lay the foundation for any future changes. And for this, we need to settle the shared design rules that would establish the design system that can be followed later. That's why we developed 5 stages roadmap, where every stage goes one after another, so we can do the right things at the right time. The first 2 stages is about clarity. Layout, grid, basic components, fonts and colors. We will introduce those tokens to make the platform more clear and more understandable to use. This will also introduce visual rhythm that would help users to browse and go through the platform. Next, we will focus on how the system responds. Its stages, its feedback, and communication will help people to understand what's going on and what to do next. We'll track progress with real user data. We'll measure how it's easy to complete the task, how much time it takes to do certain actions, and what are the success rates of interactions we are introducing to the user, so we can really see if the system is improving over time. The changes will appear gradually. Over time, the system becomes more consistent and more easier to build on. Every stage reinforces the next one, avoiding disruption during the process. This is about respecting the complexity of the platform, reducing the effort required to use it. That's what we are doing on the design side in 2026, ensuring shared foundation across the platform so it stays consistent while growing. I'll hand it over to Moritz, our head of product.
Thank you, Victoria. I'm really excited to share the 2026 roadmap for our additional products and show how we're going to add additional value to the core experience of the community collaboration platform, and how each of those products will help contribute to our overall vision of the community collaboration platform. So before we dive into the 2026 roadmap, I want to take a quick look back on 2025, where we launched 3 additional products, and I want to share some highlights of those to give some context to what we're going to build on next year. One of the products that we launched is Gaia AI, which we launched on SparkBlue, one of our oldest clients, where we launched with some quite some interesting features, like the relevancy score, content summaries, a chatbot, and editing help with AI features. Another product is Lumina Insights that you've already seen in some slides, which helps community managers gain insight into relevant KPIs, health metrics for your communities, and group statistics. And lastly, we've worked on the Connection Hub, which is a feature that allows you to connect external sources, the rest of your tech ecosystem, the rest of the tech stack to an open social instance. The first product I want to talk about is Engagement Studio. Community managers often use different tools and cobble together engagement strategies where they send out mails manually, and that's often ineffective. It's hard to track and is also really difficult to measure the impact of those campaigns properly. So with Engagement Studio, we give people the opportunity to automate this, integrate it into your community directly, and use community data, and also then measure the impact of this with click-through rates and other features. In the next year, we're going to focus here on automation, better workflows, bringing more segments into the Engagement Studio, and allowing for good measurements of the return of investment of these campaigns. So that by 2026, Engagement Studio will be fully integrated into your community platform, into your workflows, and will serve as an engine that runs your community. So the roadmap for Engagement Studio starts also with now, next, later, as you've seen already with Stefano. We work currently on the data foundation and the overall foundation of the product, where we start with data synchronization foundation. That means that we have our segments synchronized to the Engagement Studio. As Stefano mentioned, segments is a feature that we've built recently, where you can create segments within the community management system based on certain segmentation variables, active users, having a membership in a certain group, and so forth. The segments then can be automized, synchronized to the Engagement Studio, and you can use them as a base to target the right people in the right way with your campaigns. An additional data foundation is the CSV upload that we're building that allows you to export other data outside of the community management system to either migrate or use any other data set that you have to target people with communication around your community, or even broader than that. Lastly, for our foundation, we want to build extended tracking. As I mentioned, that's really important that you understand how are people clicking through, are they engaging with your campaign, when are they dropping off, and are your campaigns successful in the way that you set them up. For that, we add more trackers, better technical ways to circumvent bot protection methods, and so forth, to give you the best insights. The next steps on the roadmap will be focusing more on the activation cycles. So focusing on in-system messaging. That means creating modals, pop-ups, and other communication methods within the CMS, so that the campaigns not only stay in a mail, but are much closer to the people in the communities and help activate people directly there. Again, based on segments, you can target this way people very effectively and bring your message across to your target audience. Another aspect is building out the segments even more. So as I mentioned, we have a few basic segments based on group membership and based on activity level, but we want to extend this to encompass much more aspects of the platform within these segments, so that you can target very granular who you want to reach with your campaigns. The later aspects, where we still need to see how this develops and how the research for this is going to continue, is then more automated platform updates. So as I mentioned, we want to have these engagement cycles where we feed in the data, create activation campaigns, and then automate the messaging around it, push more information to these user segments with, for example, then email summary updates, what is happening in your community that's personalized to how you engage in the community. So the next product I want to talk about is Lumina Insights. Oftentimes, community managers rely on gut feeling, top-down decisions, or just anecdotal evidence. And That's obviously oftentimes not good enough to make right decisions, and Lumina is a tool that helps community managers make decisions based on actual data and gives our community managers insights into what is happening overall on the platform, how's the health of the community, but also what's happening in certain groups, how do people engage with different content, and what actions can they take based on that. Next year, we want to work on improving the level of insight that you get, the, again, segmentation that you can do with it, and the governance aspect, so that everything is built on a strong privacy foundation for every user that's being that is within the platform and that uses the product. So that by 2026, Lumina drives better community insight and strategy decisions. How does the roadmap for Lumina look like? So again, we want to start here with the data foundation project, where we are currently already working on. So I've been talking already about community health, group performance, and the privacy aspects of it. This is partially ready. We want to still polish this a little bit. We have plans to launch the product on a live platform in Q1, where we want to start with this overall community health dashboard that shows engagement of the users generally with the platform, retention rates, and how often do they engage with certain features. The group performance is somewhat similar, but focuses on specific group levels, where people can then track how often do they come back, how engaged are the different users within this group. As I mentioned, privacy and GDPR is obviously very important for Open Social, and we will also here take this really into account with opt-out features and other measurements to make sure that everybody is informed how we use data, what data we track, and what is going to be happening with this. Another part of the foundation aspect is historical usage data. So obviously, Lumina will be only useful with a certain set of data, because the community management system uses already so much data to run and do its normal functioning. We can use this data as a baseline and as a set to get Lumina already working from the get-go and import this historic data that the community management system uses normally for Lumina Insights from day one. The next step is deep dives. So where we focus on general community health, we're gonna go much more into the details, where we create content analysis dashboards, where people can then see how are people engaging with specific content? What is our engagement drivers? Where are a lot of comments? How many views are there? How many likes? And so forth. How much general engagement is around it on different aspects. And the next deep dive aspect is segmentation. So again, using the segment features within Lumina as a sorting variable, so that you can drill down every metric that you have available based on certain segments and see it for subpopulations within your community. The later bucket for the roadmap here is general global product usage. You've seen this with Victoria's presentation, that we're gonna work on quite some fundamental changes within the UI and the visual design of Open Social. To make good decisions there, we need as much product insight as we can get. And one of the aspects here is using Lumina to for telemetry reason and understanding the precise usage on a global scale of all platforms. So Gaia AI is our AI feature that we introduced last year. And a lot of our community platforms are quite information dense, have a lot of content that is hidden, or at least is stored in files, folders, in resource libraries, with PDFs with dozens of pages. So users really need help finding this content better. Community managers need help moderating this traffic and the amount of comments and content that's being added to the platforms. And where AI is obviously really useful in that, it needs to be trustworthy and secure. So Gaia AI is not only a set of features, it's a framework that we apply to all of our platforms, where we can help community managers with those problems they are experiencing. It should really be a tool that assists community managers, users, or any other stakeholder rather than replaces them, and should not make autonomous decisions, but we handle principally human-in-the-loop concept for our AI features. Next year, we want to work on Gaia AI and add features that help people find content, create synergies between the existing content, but also that help protect community managers against AI and spam attacks. So that by 2026, Gaia is adding day-to-day value for all of our stakeholders in a safe and secure way. The roadmap for Gaia AI, where we're currently working on, is the enhanced search. So I think that's going to add quite a lot of value for a lot of our platforms, because with the enhanced search, we add agentic search and a semantic search for our parallel to our normal search features. And by that, people can then search in natural language terminology, get natural language responses with enhanced capabilities where AI can just go through multiple layers of content by searching PDF, by combining results, and give people answers to the questions they have, and not just show them list of items that are based on certain keywords. The next steps here is focusing on moderation. So AI spam attacks are hard to combat with traditional measurements. And so we're working on AI spam prevention. The relevancy score that we launched last year is going to play an important role in this. The relevancy score contextualizes everything that's being posted in a community, scores it in the backend, and shows this way how likely something is harmful, or at least potentially even not contributing real value to the platform. Giving indicators for community managers what needs their attention and what not, and this way already triaging a lot of the content and helping community managers focus on what's really important. Another aspect of moderation is AI auto-tagging that we want to focus on. That will obviously, again, create much more structure within the platform, because while we have traditional tagging features, not everybody is using this in a way that is really useful for community managers. AI auto-tagging will much more optimize this and create a solid foundation for the search, but also for human moderators to go through content and make sense out of it. I mentioned the relevancy score already a few times. What we want to do again with it is also create a relevancy score per user. So basically creating expert scores based on certain content areas, where we then can show who are people that contribute really valuably to a certain area of the platform, or are there any problems with certain peoples in certain areas. So that again helps community managers, site owners, identifying people that are potentially really helpful for the community, maybe want to be even part of the next discussion as a moderator, or part of the moderation team for a certain subpart of the community. Lastly, there is a theme that we call smart support. Again, that's obviously in the later stage of the roadmap, so there's still some research that needs to be done, maybe some priority that changes. AI is really fast moving, so we're also listening to your feedback here, and then we have to see which of those aspects will be implemented, and how they precisely will be implemented. But we do think smart filters is one of those things that can really help communities, because for the resource library, there are potentially quite a lot of filters. And shifting again from a computer interaction where you select boxes to a natural language approach, and then the AI selecting the right filters for you, simplifies and naturalizes a lot of the interactions that you have with the platform. Another thing for smart support is recommendations. So I mentioned this before, that AI can obviously play a big role in helping personalizing the platform, which really helps drive engagement and make the platform much more feel like your platform rather than a generic tool. Last thing is the chatbot memory. So improving the chatbot results by understanding what is the context of the discussion that it's been in, what are previous sessions that have been done, and improving this way the interaction of users with it. The last product I want to mention is the Connection Hub. We've been already working last year quite a bit on the Connection Hub. We don't have very specific roadmap items for it. What we're currently working on for the Connection Hub is topic and event APIs. And that's really relevant because we understand our platform doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists for communities and for organizations that have quite complex tech ecosystems, and APIs, by offering webhooks or Zapier connections, which we've done last year already, this allows them to integrate and use the full capabilities of their already existing tech stack. So we're going to double down on this. This is going to be maybe get some more attention on demand. So we've worked last year on some Snowflake integration, for example, based on client demands. So while we don't have a very specific roadmap here, except for the two things that we're currently working on, extending the GraphQL API for topics and events, there might be still some things that come next year here based on our interaction with the clients and based on feedback we get from you. So summarizing, I think there are three themes that I want to highlight from our 2026 roadmap outside of the community management system. So we want to create one connected ecosystem. As you can see, we launched last year three and a half, 4 products, and a lot of those already add value. But I think this value can be increased by unifying the systems, by creating synergy between those systems, and leveraging the benefits they bring to your community systems. An aspect of this is also creating more activation loops. So creating a system where you measure, act, and then report, measure again, act, and report. So using Lumina to get the insights on how people behave on the platform, creating campaigns via Engagement Studio, and gathering even more insights and improving those campaigns is something that we're going to focus on, and that we're going to provide community managers, platform owners with even more tools to create a holistic approach to their community. And the last thing is extending our sovereign AI support for key stakeholders so that it is a foundational aspect throughout the community, preventing spam attacks, helping community managers to moderate, helping people write content, translate, and so forth, that it is an aspect in every layer of your interaction with the community, but in a way that it is safe, that it uses ethical AI foundations, and that it is flexible and not vendor locked in with certain models. So I think with these 3 themes, focusing on these 3 themes throughout all the 4 products that I just presented, we can generate a lot of additional value for everybody who's using Open Social, and also outside of that, even where you can just boost community or engagement with your organization and insights you generate about your audience connecting with your organization. As we embark on this roadmap, we invite you, our clients, prospects, and everybody else participating in Open Social to join pilot programs, reach out to us, give us feedback, share with us your experiences, and this way we can create an even better product for everybody and make 2026 a success. Some last words from our CEO and co-founder, Taco, to lead us out here, and thanks for sticking with us so long. I'm really excited for the next year with all of you.
All right, so thank you so much for making it all the way to this video. We hope you're just excited about 2026 as we are. As you can see, I rolled up my sleeves and we're ready to get to work, but we cannot do it as always without your support. So if there's something that you're really interested in moving forward, reach out to us and we'll work on it together. Let's go.